Raider Nation, what is the deal, man? What is going on? What is happening? You are back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. Not a live show right now, but we're going to be doing a little live show a little later with my boy Cheeto for State of the Nation. But right now, today, we are going to be touching on the Ben Johnson news. I didn't get to go live yesterday. At first, I'm going to be honest, bro. I didn't think it was some news for me to go live for, but I saw everybody else talking about it. I saw people asking some things about it, and I definitely thought I should come out here and give some 2 cents. And at the same time, little background information on what could have happened as well as far as the Raiders and Ben Johnson. So without further ado, man, let me go ahead. Let's get this intro started and let's get the show cracking. What is going on? What is the deal? What is happening, man? Make sure you guys are touching on the like button. Tap on that like button for your boy, man. And also, you already know what I say, man. If you're feeling what you're hearing, make sure you tap on the subscribe button as well, man. So we're going to be going live today. I think I put it on my YouTube, man. You're going to be getting like 3 shows from your boy today. So make sure you keep your notifications on, man, because we got to go in. We got to talk about some of the information that we got. But, right, I guess the big blow, not even I guess, but the big blow yesterday. We've been talking about it this whole time, but Ben Johnson chose his team, directly a day after they lost to the Washington Commanders, right? He chose the Chicago Bears. And man, of course, the only reason I'm really disappointed is because I wanted to talk mad shit to Bears fans. I did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was being petty for no reason. I probably shouldn't have did that. And that's what we get, right? Most of us was being petty in this whole shit because if you were like me, right, and I'm not ashamed to admit this at all. If you were like me, I didn't even think Ben Johnson was gonna take the goddamn interview, right? Like, to be honest, bro, like while we were still playing, I'm like, there's no way in hell he's gonna take this fucking interview. So the fact he even took the interview. Okay, well, all Brady in that ear. So I got to eat a little crow on that one. But still, when we're looking right, we had him at the finish line, right? Which is crazy to even think about. Now, to be honest, right, out of Ben Johnson's choices, it came down to us or the Bears. The Jaguars were out of it, right? Like I've been telling y'all this whole time, or like some people have been telling y'all this whole time. They got a GM that most people don't really want to work with. So the Jaguars were kind of the odd man looking out anyway. So it was between us and the Bears, but the decision came down to the quarterback position. I mean, let's just keep it a bean, bro. That is the real reason why we're sitting here without Ben Johnson. It came down to the quarterback position. Now, there are some murmurs, there are some chirpings that Saturday's game and seeing Jared Goff perform the way he did kind of put a bug in your boy's ear, right, in Ben Johnson's ear, that allowed his team, his camp, and other people to really get in his ear and say, hey, bro, this is what the fuck happens if you don't have a quarterback now. You need to make a decision based on your career. And after talking to his team after the game, after going through all these things, they all decided that they rather roll with Caleb Williams over Aiden O'Connell. Really not a hard-ass choice. I mean, it's not really a hard choice to begin with. If you were to tell us this at the beginning of the coaching cycle, like, yeah, Ben Johnson probably want to go with Caleb Williams. He don't want to fuck with Aiden O'Connell. I don't think none of us would have blinked an eye, right? None of us would have batted an eye. We would have been like, well, it makes sense because it's logical, right? But, and I saw mad people mad at the fact we didn't get him, pissed at the fact we didn't get him. Am I disappointed that we didn't get him? Sure, right? Because all the news, even what your boy heard, even what I heard, right? It seemed like it was a done deal. It did. I'm going to be honest with you. It seemed like it was a done deal. It seemed like Brady didn't got it together. But as I told you on Saturday morning, right, with Jay and a lot of things, bro, like these are human emotions we talking about, right? It's no different than you and I. It's no different. Right. And even with the insiders, Vinny and all that shit, we're going to talk about that a little later, but it's no different, bro. We all can choose to change our minds at the drop. Right. And by all intents and purposes, bro, what's crazy to me and the reason I'm not really taking it that bad is a couple reasons. One, I didn't think he was going to take the interview to begin with. So it's like the fact that he even accepted to come interview and even thought about it, dub for us, in my opinion. 2, right? Next reason I'm not tripping is because, again, if you were in the camp as me, didn't think he was going to want the interview, we were half right. Because if it wasn't for Brady, this motherfucker wouldn't have came here, right? He would not have came here. So Brady being here, you can tell it's starting to have some effect, right? Even if you don't get the guy, you get the perception of it, what it looks like, the process. Shit's different with Brady, right? But number 3, and this is my biggest takedown of the whole thing, or takeaway from the whole thing, and some of you can spin this a different way if you want, right? I understand it, bro. And hey, it might just be my personality the way it is. But I'm going to just keep it a bean. This is honestly how I feel, bro. The fact that you got Ben Johnson, some of these other candidates to seriously look at you, when we all know, you, I, right? You, I, Tom, all the candidates know, ain't no fucking quarterback here, right? And you're probably not going to be able to get a dude that you want until next year. Probably, right? Unless things shake out the way they shake out and we end up getting one of these quarterbacks in the draft or somebody, whatever the case. But to get a guy you actually want that you think can run your shit, it's probably going to take a year. So this year going to be a mulligan year. Everybody knows that. But the fact that we know that, everybody else know that, but still, other candidates are looking at this job like, okay, I like what you're putting down, Tom. I'm picking up what you're putting down. That makes me feel better about the standing of the organization. Now, it can be delusional Raider shit that I'm talking about right now. It definitely can. I'm going to be honest with you. It can be delusional Raider shit. Y'all can tell me in the comments, and y'all can disagree. Y'all know how it is, bro. We all disagree, but it's still love. But, the fact that you getting these type of candidates, right, as far as Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn's, the Todd Munkins, we didn't interview the Liam Cohen. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But, these type of guys, Pete Carrolls, right? You're talking about all these guys and you're interviewing all these guys. Some of them are real offensive-minded guys, but, you still got them towards the finish line, or you still got them at least pondering what the fuck is going on. Now, I see some people that sit there and they're like, oh, man, the Raiders were used for leverage. They were used for money leverage. It wasn't money leverage, bro. Money wasn't the issue for either the Bears or the Raiders. You feel what I'm saying? I don't think the Bears were never going to shortchange that man anyway. If you really think about it, bro, that's dumb. If you're talking about your number one candidate, you're not going to shortchange that man. You're going to make sure you give him the best offer that you can, right? So title, all that, to wrap it up in the bow for this first section, bro, the real reason your boy is not coming here is the most obvious fucking reason, bro. It's really the most obvious reason Ben Johnson didn't come here. There is no quarterback. There's no quarterback, bro. Now, I thought he was going. Now, I'm going to be honest, bro. I thought he was going to say, fuck it, I do what I do, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to make the shit work. But didn't shake out like that. Didn't shake out like that. Now, where do the Raiders pivot? In my opinion, seeing what reporters are talking about, all this other shit, I think it's going to be Pete Carroll. I do. And I'm not mad at it. I like Pete Carroll. I've been talked into Pete Carroll earlier before this, bro. Now, people talk about the age and things of that nature, but I don't know. I don't think the age is a factor based on personality, right? I mean, like Jim Harbaugh is 13 years younger than Pete Carroll. He's already having surgeries and heart problems and shit like that. And of course, you pray and you hope for him and his health is the best. But, he's 13 years younger than Pete. I ain't heard of Pete having them type of problems. I'm going to just keep it a bean, bro. I've never heard of Pete sitting there having them type of problems. So there are valid concerns when you're talking about where do we go from here, right? Now, you supposed to get Ben Johnson, didn't happen. We do have good candidates, right? So we do got to think about that. We do have good candidates, and I honestly think Pete Carroll is the second option. I really do. But there are some gripes about Pete Carroll that are valid, right? So if it's not going to be Pete, who else do you look at? We did not request the interview for Liam Cohen. We have not requested that. So everybody may say something. They say they may want him and things of that nature, but we as a team have not requested him, which is crazy because SpyTech is in that building as well. But hey, it is what it is. Tom may have some information that he's getting from somebody else that we don't know. that makes him say, well, you know what? I really don't want this dude. Maybe so, right? We got to see. Also, you got Todd Monken, right? You got Todd Monken on the docket. Now, we requested that interview, but he has not accepted that request. So before I continue and why, I'm going to go ahead and tell you why it's not plan B, it's plan Pete. And I'm going to tell y'all why. And this is why, right? Those two coaches that I just named for you are the only offensive coaches that are on the docket left for the Raiders to interview. That's it, right? Liam Cohen's not even official. Neither is Todd Monken. Neither is official, right? So that's only two coaches out of the many, many, many other ones that we have requested an interview for that are only offensive. Now, I think there's a list, and let me read to you this list of what this is, because when I saw it last night, it gave me cause for pause, because I was like, well, goddamn, this is different. But let me see what goes on. Let me see how we can go ahead and say this right here. But talking about some of the coaches that the Raiders have on the docket, right? So we're talking about, are they offensive guys? If you look at this list, right, how many offensive guys do you see on this list? It's only two, right? You feel me? So that's where I start to get worried, and why I'm saying, is it plan Pete, right? Because look, you got Todd Monken haven't accepted our request, and then you got, Ben Johnson, he's gone. Other than that, everybody else is a defensive guy, or some other thing, or just a former head coach. But even the former head coaches are defensive guys. So if we're looking, I think honestly, out of this list, honestly, I would take Pete Carroll. I like Dion, but I don't think Dion is an actual candidate, so I think I would take that out. But so I like Aaron Glenn as well. I like Aaron Glenn as well. But out of this list, man, I would go Pete Carroll and Aaron Glenn. And then you can make your arguments for Pete Carroll. I mean, last time I saw Pete, he was 9-7. Right? He was 9-7. Now imagine if this Raiders team goes 9-7 next year. How would y'all feel? Right? Because everybody wants to say he's mid, he does this. So the real concern with Pete has to be his offensive coordinators and how he hires them and how he goes about these things. But, as far as overall head coach, leading a team, setting culture, doing these things, he's out of the list I just showed you, I think he's the best one to do it, because that's really what we need. I say it all the time, bro. We need rehab. This goddamn team needs rehab. And Pete's the best therapist to do it, bro. Now, are we going to talk about a succession plan? Yes, that has to be talked about at some point. And we're going to talk about that later with Cheeto. But I think as of right now, bro, set it off and just to calm this down and stop this episode, don't trip about the Ben Johnson thing. It sucks. It's disappointing. Yes. But at the same time, the fact that this man even had us at the finish line, top 2, whatever the case, should show how the league will begin to look at us seriously, right? And that's how Tom is starting to do these things, right? He wants to go ahead and have the league look at us serious. Motherfuckers take us real serious as far as what we're doing with this job, how motherfuckers could change this job, really ingratiate themselves in here. But patience is the key. Regardless of whoever came in here, patience was going to be the key, right? Because even if Ben Johnson came in here, getting his quarterback ain't no guarantee. So you got to see what that is. I just think right now, patience is a virtue to not only find the right head coach and GM pairing, but in order for this team to really have some continual long-term success, right? Like we have to be patient. And that's a fucking word that's going to make my skin itch, because I feel like I've been patient for a long time as a fan of this team. Y'all been patient as a fan of this team, but it's the only choice we have left, right? It's the only choice we have left. We have to trust the process, right? And it's Tom's process. As far as somebody asked me, do you trust Tom? We ain't got no choice. I have to trust this process, bro. And that requires patience right now, because we have to find the right parent. And we have to make sure that what we do right now is not only going to help us for this year, but next year and the year after that. So that's just my quick take on this. Make sure you guys hitting the like, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be going live a little later with our dog Cheeto, man, at 6 p.m. Pacific time or 7 p.m. Pacific time. Keep your notifications on, man. We're going to be going live tonight. And also, man, I'm going to be tapping in with my dogs, man, Pharaoh and Severe for the 50-50 show tonight. So until then, make sure you guys are tapping on all them buttons. Don't trip too hard about Ben Johnson. Don't let the team get you down. And you already know what time it is, man. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown. Keep it real, and I'll see y'all a little later. Peace.
I need a bad bitch with an accent, serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young cash app, moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. Yeah, shots to the head, ride clean and still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids, so who the fuck gon' wanna test me, bitch?